For ser. What's the past tense? It's an irregular. There it is, era. All right. So if I want to use time in the past tense, I'd say era, right? And then what time it was. In this case, what? A la una. Okay. Muy bien. All right. So what else? Yeah, three more. How about online? Anybody out there want to give me an answer?
I think one is area.
Yeah, say that one more time. I just couldn't hear you, Luca. What?
Area.
Are you thinking of the A there?
Yeah.
Not what I had for my A.
Oh.
Trying to think if that would apply. Maybe, but I would say that's a maybe. That's not like one of our specific ones. So you
I
still
got
got your point for trying. So thanks for trying. What else? What's another one? Either you're looking at your notes or you're working your way through this, trying to work it out. What do those stand for? Ta?
Age.
Yeah, age is the actual A there. All right. Now, age is an interesting one. Let me remind you about this because you can certainly use this on your project. In Spanish, we don't say I am 16. We use what verb with that? You don't say yo soy. You say what? Yes, exactly. So yeah, you're going to use años tener, right, is your verb. So instead of saying I am 16, you say I have. So then you just convert that into the imperfect. So what would our imperfect verb be for your age? Put tener in the imperfect. What do we have? Now you're thinking preterite. It's easy one.
Tania?
Oh, somebody said it. Was that you, Kylan? What'd you say?
Is it Tania?
Okay. Say one more time.
Tania.
Yeah, there it is. Tenía, right? So you're going to say cuando tenía 5 años, when I was 5, and then you can tell me something else. All right, so age would be a good one. You can use that on your project. All right, now somebody, I think it was you, Charles, already kind of told me this. You just used my wording instead of this one. What did you say earlier? We use imperfect for? Yeah, okay, so I think you said what you used to do, right? But this would be, yeah, so repeated actions, right? Or what you used to do. All right, and what's the last one there? And remember what the S is? Oh, yeah, I heard 2 people say it. Who's somebody online say it?
Yeah, it was me.
Go ahead, Jack.
Setting.
Yeah, so like a setting or description. So again, you can describe yourself, right? What you were like, or what your family was like, or what your house was like, or any kind of what the woods, like if you're talking about a setting. So any kind of description. All right, so as you're working on your project today, what you could be thinking about those, right? If you talk about, I don't know, if you show me a picture of your birthday party when you were 5, tell me how you were feeling, right? Or if you want to tell me something about when you were 5, use your tenía and give me your age. When I was 5, right, I was happy at my party or something. Okay, weather, and maybe weather would come into play on your photo album if you want to describe that, like it was a sunny day and I don't know, when you used to go to the park or something. A lot of repeated actions is what I would expect on this project, right? I used to play with my Barbies. I used to watch Scooby. I used to go to Florida every year. I used to, those kinds of things. And then of course, descriptions, right? You can use that. You got to be careful. You're probably only going to use that once, unless you can figure out another way to do it, because it's always going to be that verb era. And I'll go back to review that project in a minute. But how many different imperfect verbs do you need? 20, right? So once you've used era once, I mean, you can use it again, but I'm going to make sure I'll be looking for 20 different verbs. So in terms of description, you can tell me what you used to be like, and then you might be done with that verb. Okay, so everybody kind of seeing a little idea here on imperfect, how to use it? Okay, so basically you have 2 things you're going to work on today. One is this project that I want to talk about and just remind you what you're doing. And then 2, I do have a little practice on Canvas that I want you to make sure you do, just to kind of make sure you know what you're doing. All right, and I'll take a look at that. And if you're not getting it, then I'll try to grab you today so that you don't make the same mistakes on your project. So let's talk about your project. What do you have to do? You're making a photo album. How many sentences? 20. because they each have to have a different imperfect verb. So that's really the bulk of it. Honestly, I don't care if you smush it into one sentence and you're like, oh, I used to play with my Barbies and I used to watch cartoons. All right. Because technically that could be 2 sentences. So I'm more counting verbs than sentences, to be honest. All right. So if you want to put 2 conjugated verbs in a sentence, make sure it has a comma in between it, right? Or an and. I used to do this and I used to do that. And then that might work out for you. All right. But I will be looking for 20. I want to see them spelled right. I want to see if they have an accent, if they need an accent. And they're all in the imperfect tense. So if you need to review the imperfect tense, you have some notes from the other day on the imperfect tense. So make sure you get your endings right. Otherwise, how many pictures? 10. And that's it, right? Don't make it fancy. Don't make it complicated. Give me good sentences and make sure your verbs are accurate. And that's it. Don't start Googling all crazy stuff. Just give me basic verbs that make sense in Spanish, in the imperfect tense. Does that make sense? Okay, well, I don't really need to take any more of your time. I do want you to try this little practice first. So if you're not on our Canvas homepage, I want you to go there first. And you will see, I think it's just like 10 questions, just kind of general, like when do we use the imperfect? And then a couple fill in the blank, just make sure you can use the imperfect correctly. And I'll kind of monitor that as you turn it in. And if I'm seeing a problem, then I will send you a quick message if you're not here, or I'll just tell you if you're in class, like, oh, don't do that on your project. All right, and otherwise I'm gonna give you the rest of the period to work. Project is due before school, yeah, I guess school on Monday. So Sunday night. Any questions for the good of the group? Everybody knows what you're doing? Okay, last thing I want to remind you of, and then Zoom friends, if you want to go do your thing and not be on Zoom, that's fine, is missing work. I am happy to take missing work from this 9 weeks. Okay, so continue to get me things. If you want it on your midterm, you got to get it to me this weekend. If it's going to take you a couple more days, then it is what it is, but I probably can't get it in on your midterm. All right, this project is due Sunday night. It is unlikely that I will get them on your midterm, but it'll probably be the first grade for your new you know, what is it? Your new midterm. All right, well, if you are on Zoom and you get it and you know what you're doing, go do your little practice and then your project. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. Stick around if you have a question.